All right.
You ready, T?
Mm-hmm.
All right, hello guys. My name is Roy Eddie, and start off by apologizing for coming late and I missed Adrian's presentation. But the name of mine is Fame and Honor and Riches in the Hunger Games. And of course, I'm Professor Richard Davis, and this is FYS 16. In case you didn't know. Quick little summary of the Hunger Games film. I'm pretty sure everyone is kind of familiar with it a little bit, but if not, Hunger Games is a film by a young girl named Katniss. She was put into extreme death match, and the last one, alive wins, and Katniss is successful in defeating her foes. As a reward, she gains riches and supplies for her district. And as I'm going to talk about her district a little bit later on, it's kind of very, very, very poor, and it's comparable to the time frame of the Great Depression when there wasn't like a lot of food and like a lot of just secure households. Some key characters of the film and the book as well. Katniss is the female protagonist, and she's the winner of the games, but she's alongside Peter. And if I butcher any of these names, I know you guys are probably great, like very familiar with the film. You can definitely help me out. Peter is alongside the winner of Katniss, and they kind of work together to win. And like, if you've seen the film, it's kind of like a twist towards the end of the film where they usually it's like one person standing and wins, but with them, it's two from the same district. Heyman is actually a former victor of the games, and he's like their mentor and helps them as they go through the process. Prim is Katniss' sister, and she's actually the one that was selected in the lottery to go to the Hunger Games. And Gale is her best friend, but he kind of has like a actual little side note. I believe that he kind of has more feelings than just best friend feelings for Katniss. Got a quick little summary, well not summary, but a quick little trailer of the film. Is the volume good?
It should be. We'll see. That'll do.
We could do it, you know. Go off living in the woods.
They'd catch us.
Well, maybe not.
We wouldn't make it 5 miles.
One courageous young man and woman for the honor of representing District 12 in the 74th Annual Hunger Games.
It's your first year, Prim. Your name's only been in there once. I'm not going to pick you.
Primrose Everdeen. I volunteer! I volunteer as tribute! Tribute, Peter Monarch and Katniss Everdeen.
They just want a good show. That's all they want.
There's 24 of us, Gail. Only one comes out. So you're here to make me look pretty?
Here to help you make an impression.
And so it was decreed that each year the 12 districts of Pan Am shall offer up in tribute one young man and woman between the ages of 12 and 18 to be trained in the art of survival and to be prepared to fight to the death.
This is the time to show them everything. Make sure they remember you. I just keep wishing I could think of a way to show them that they don't own me. If I'm gonna die, I want to still be me.
I just can't afford to think like that.
As you can see from the trailer, the film is very intense, and they kind of touched on the film, some side notes that I want to add in. that you can kind of further get some deeper information on the film. As I said before, that there's 12 districts, and the first two districts are obviously like the most wealthy ones, and as you go down, you decrease on wealth. But each district also has to contribute to people from the district for the games, and it's usually a boy and a girl. The 12th district, they didn't have the same kind of training that the first two districts had in preparing for the games. And Katniss, as you can see from the film, is actually kind of like I think she's a good representation of a female in science fiction, opposed to how they've been shown before. Because she's very strong, she's good at archery, and has different skills and talents. The Rolling Stone magazine and NY Daily News both kind of praised the film. Each review is 99 out of 100 or 100 out of 100 on just likability and the plot and all of that. They just encourage everyone to see it. The historical concept I used is the Great Depression, and I used it because it's comparable to the everyday life of the 12th district and their famine and them not having any food. I'm going to read right off the screen and let you know some of these facts. The Great Depression was obviously one of those points in American history. The time frame was preceding World War II, and it lasted until the early 1940s, kind of late 1930s. The famine was terrible, obviously, and researchers in 2010 found that stats that stated that out of the 17.2 million households, 14.5% were food insecure, and that was the highest ever recorded in history. And just that one time frame of 10 years or so is comparable to the everyday life of the 12th district. The Cambridge series, I used 2 chapters from both of the books. I used chapter 8 for the fantasy literature book. It was entitled Political Readings. And in chapter 8, it was talking about just obviously political aspects of science fiction, and it actually said that all science fiction is political. But it had an excerpt of the book entitled Vineyard by Kit Whitfield, and it was a society where 99% of the people were, not people, but the society was werewolves, and 1% were actually humans. And that's kind of comparable to the Hunger Games, and the fact that, well, the likable people and people that had a lot of respect were the 1 and 2 districts, and as you went down, it was less respect and less credibility, and as they were seen as outcasts and kind of not even favored. And chapter 17, a science fiction book entitled Politics of Science Fiction, it had an excerpt of this book entitled The Female Man. It was by Jonah Russ. And that book really stressed the importance of a female, and it was a female, and it wanted people to know that women can be man without being men. And I think that Katniss does a good job representing the female man in the Hunger Games film. She's very strong, just very independent, I would say, and it's a good representation of a woman that can be strong in science fiction. And my thesis, in the beginning of my opening paragraph, I had a question for whoever was reading my paper, and it was kind of how far would you go to save your starving family from hunger? And I think Katniss shows in the film that she's going to go pretty far to save not only herself, but just her sister, and kind of represent her district and just do the best she can to make sure she wins. And my thesis was the actual acts of Hunger Games should not happen in modern times of American culture due to several forms of work and the fact that money can be made in a variety of ways, illegally and legally. If the games were to happen, it would be due to reasons such as political instability, social unrest, the effects of hunger, and the human nature to survive at all costs. The last 2 points are the points that are most stressed in my paper, and just the fact that she was going so hard to go and survive and just make sure she can provide for her family. And that is my presentation. Are there any questions?